Hey, what's up everyone? Coming back at you with E3 predictions for 2015, and today I'm going to combine Ubisoft and EA together because if I made one for each, it would be about 2 to 3 minutes per video, and I think combined this video will be about the right amount of time that I want to make it. So out of the two, I'm going to start with the one I expect the least from. I'm not saying they're not going to show anything good, but I think Ubisoft does not have as much as EA has this year, especially from like the AAA perspective and things that are actually announced right now. So I'm going to jump into my Ubisoft predictions first. To start it off, I'm going to go with the most obvious game, which would be Assassin's Creed Victory. I think they're going to show it off, give a release date, and maybe have a live demo at the show. It's not really that big of a prediction. Most likely it will happen. We already know it's called Victory. We already know most things about it. It's just the every year Assassin's Creed rigmarole thing. So the second thing I have, instead of like last year they had a last gen or Xbox 360 and PS3 Assassin's Creed, this year there's been leaks about Assassin's Creed Chronicles. It'll be like a 2D type game, and I think they're actually going to release this game within a month of the show, or they could just go out there and say it's available now. But I think that game will come around, like that will be one of their drop games that they have at the show. They say go download it now, and that'll be a big deal when it happens. And the next game is another obvious game that's going to be there. It's going to be The Division. It was shown 2 E3s ago now, and this will be the third one that it's at. So it needs to come out pretty soon, because it's been a while, and I don't think you should be showing games 3 or 4 years before. It will be 4 years if they don't release it this year. 4 years before you actually have it available to buy. I think that would just be ridiculous if they didn't show it and give a release date this year. So I'm going to lock that into it. And the next games that I have are, most of them are not guaranteed to be here, except for Just Dance. They always have like this dancing act that they perform at the show to get the crowd hyped, and that's going to be there. It's kind of obvious. And the next few games are going to be guesses. So the first game I'm going to guess is a new Splinter Cell game will be shown. It's been, 2013 was the last Splinter Cell is Blacklist, and by the time this one will release, it would be like 3 or 4 years, so that sounds about right. And the next game is Watch Dogs 2. I think they could tease this game. I highly doubt they're going to give any release date, and it would be crazy if it came out this year. But I think that's what you should really be expecting from Watch Dogs if it does happen to show up at the conference. And the next game is a series that has not, like, it's been gone for a few years. It'll be Brothers in Arms. It's been gone for at least 3 years now. They might have released like some smaller game, I don't know. But I think that could show up again. There's been a lot of rumors talking about it possibly coming back. And oh, my bad, this is not a rumor. Rainbow Six Siege will obviously be there. I think it'll be given a late October release date. Probably like somewhere in between 20th and 28th, something like that. Because they've shown a lot of gameplay and trailers the last few like weeks, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be coming out this year too. They're going to like rely heavily on that at the show, probably show some more live demos like they did last year. And the last game is kind of a home run pick. I'm going to guess Prince of Persia. Some new Prince of Persia game will be at the show. I know this is kind of a stretch, but it's been a long time since there's been a Prince of Persia that's actually been something to write home about. So I think that they will show off some Prince of Persia game, and I don't think it's that big of a deal if it happens, because what is Prince of Persia at this point? There's a lot of old school gamers that love Prince of Persia, but what is it really now? I don't know. They could revive the whole series. They could go and be bigger than Assassin's Creed. I think it has that type of ability to do, but I would love to see a new Prince of Persia game that come out of Ubisoft. But that is those are all the predictions I have for Ubisoft. So now I'm going to switch over to EA, and this is a little bit more AAA focused. Oh, and for Ubisoft, I think they're going to have a next, like a Valiant Hearts game. I think either that or a Child of Hearts sequel will be shown at that event. Okay, so moving on from Ubisoft, I'm going to go over to EA, which is more AAA focused. And I think the show will open with the Star Wars logo, and a new gameplay will be revealed for Battlefront, not Battlefield. And I think it'll be given a Q4 release date, and it'll probably come around within 2 weeks of the movie, which is not really that crazy. I think that's what they're shooting for, and I think they'll actually get there. Or at least they'll say they're going to get there, and hope they hit it. That's probably the biggest news that will come out of EA from the day, because I doubt Battlefront will be shown at any other conferences, because I think they want to leave that for theirs. So they might show it a little bit. I think maybe Sony's, because it's after them, and they could have all the hype at their conference and then put more into Sony's conference. But I'll talk more about that when I go to Sony. And the next game is just probably as big. It would be Mass Effect 4. Last year they showed like a little tease of it, but they didn't even say the name of it or when it's coming or anything like that. But I think they're going to show a real trailer this year and give it a name. And I don't think it would be crazy if they gave it a 2016 release date. It's probably going to be late 2016, but you could look out for it. Maybe they could fit it into mid 2016, but I would look for it at least late 2016 when they reveal it, if they give it a release date at all. The next game, Titanfall 2, will be shown at this event. I don't think it'll be coming out this year, though. I think that's a little bit too early, and I think they'll push it back, just like the first Titanfall. The first one came out on March 11th, 2014, so it's been over a year now. So it would be about 2 years from when they release it, if they released it this year. But I think they'll save it and release it 2 years after the first Titanfall, and I think that'll be the schedule that they go on from now on. And the next is kind of a disappointing thing to say, but I don't think they're going to show any Mirror's Edge 2 gameplay or even talk about it at all. And it's going to really be questioned if it's really in development anymore and if it really exists. I don't know if it really is, because they showed it when they revealed the PS4 and Xbox One, and they have not talked about it at all since. So I think that could be a real disappointment of the show, and that might take the cake out of everything. That would be a big deal if that happened. And I think Criterion's next project will be teased with no name given, just like they did last year with Mass Effect. And I think, was Criterion the one that they showed part of, like with Mass Effect? I don't know. But I think they'll tease it again, or if tease it for the first time, I don't remember. But the next is really obvious. They'll go out there and show a sport montage and talk about all the revolutionary stuff happening with their sports games this year. They'll show Madden, FIFA, UFC, all the normal stuff, and give it a release date. And the next one, I think it might be a little bit too early for this, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Battlefield 5 is talked about. I know that would be crazy because they just put out Hardline, and it would only be like 3 months between releasing that and revealing Battlefield 5, but I think it would come out in 2016 because they don't want to put Battlefield and Battlefront in the same year. They'll show a logo just to let people know that it's happening and it's coming, but nothing really huge coming out from that. And the last prediction for EA, I would go with, even though they released Need for Speed like 2013, I think they could show off a new game in that series. I don't think that would be crazy. I think that there's probably a 50-50 chance they do that. And that's about it for EA. I think they have a lot of heavy hitters. Nothing really on the downside, like indie space. They don't really do that very often. But overall, I think EA has a strong lineup coming in the next few years. Most